Hey guys, today for Phonics and Language, I want you to practice phonics charts 8 and 9. It's very important that you practice them out loud. So go back and practice those charts. I posted them for you, and then you can come back to this video. We're going to talk about something new and kind of confusing. Today we're going to talk about homonyms. Homonyms, it's kind of a hard word to say. They're words that sound the same. They sound the same, but the only way to really tell what the word means is the words around it in the sentence or how it's spelled. So if you just hear it, you don't actually hear the spelling, so you have to use the words in the sentence around it to tell you which word to use. Now, let's look at some common ones that sound the same but mean totally different things. First, we have blue and blue. Blue, B-L-U-E, means the color blue. This is supposed to be a crayon coloring this box. Blue, that's the color blue. Blue, B-L-E-W, means something blue. The wind, I'm not that great at drawing, guys, you know. The wind blew the tree, or I blew a bubble with my bubble gum. So that's blue and blue. They sound exactly the same, but they're spelled different. Okay, we have right and right. This one can be very confusing. Right, R-I-G-H-T, just an R, means correct. It means you got it right. It's correct. Now, right spelled with the W-R-I-T-E, spelled very differently. W-R-I-T-E means to write with a pencil or a pen, to write something down. Now we have whole and whole. These ones look very similar. This one has a W and this one doesn't, so this can be really confusing. You have to be very careful. Whole with a W in the front means a whole thing. I drew a whole pizza here. It means a complete thing. Whole without the W in the front, it starts with an H, means a hole that you dug. I tried to draw a hole in the ground. Or a hole in your shirt. It's a missing piece with just an H-O-L-E, means like a missing piece. Then we have one and one. These ones are tricky, O-N-E. You should know that one is the number one. And then W-O-N is if you won a prize. I tried to draw a little trophy right here. I don't know if you can see it that well. But to actually win something, you won with a W-O-N. Then there's three more that we talked about a few weeks ago, and it's the word to. There's three different spellings for the word to, and they mean three different things. So T-O is a connecting word for your sentence to connect the beginning and the end. And then T-W-O is the number 2, and T-O-O is too much of something, or it means also. So these can be kind of confusing. They're tricky words. You can tell what they mean by how they're spelled, which means you have to memorize how they're spelled. These ones, your phonics sounds won't help you as much because they use different phonic sounds to spell them different ways. Also, you would be able to tell which word to use based on the words around the sentence. There are so many more words that you could use that sound the same but mean two different things. And we can talk more about those later. But these are just some I wanted to go over with you today. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me get out my phonics and language book and we can do dictation together. We are on page 243. So at the top, some words sound exactly the same, but they have different meanings and different spellings. Read the story carefully, then draw lines to match the words with the correct definitions. So you don't actually have to do anything in the paragraph. The work you have to do is in the orange box and the green box to match up what the words mean. Dictation, we only have one line of dictation today. You are going to write a whole sentence. Now remember, we always use a capital letter and we always use punctuation, a period, an exclamation point, or a question mark. I know I remind you every single time we do this on dictation, but we still have some people who are not doing it. So it's something you have to remember. Start with a capital letter, end with punctuation. Here's your sentence for dictation. I use my right hand to write. Listen carefully, I'm using homonyms in this sentence. I use my right hand to write. It's kind of tricky. I'll say it one more time. I use my right hand to write. Now, on the back, on page 244, at the top, it's reviewing antonyms, which we went over yesterday. And section 1, you're going to match up the antonyms. Section 2, you are using suffixes that we learned a couple days ago. And then section 3, you're using suffixes we learned a while ago to finish off those sentences. You should not have too much trouble with this whole paper. But let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you later. Bye.